Good morning, Kipsters. Today we are going to jump into algebra. And when I say algebra, I'm really just talking about equations with a letter. And the mathematical term for a letter in an equation is they are called variables. So I have this variable, which is really a letter that actually has a number behind it. So if I think some number plus 7 gives me 15. I could do that in my head. What plus 7 is 15? But I could also model it. So I'm going to go ahead and model it. I have my x, and then I have my plus 7. So I'm actually going to put 7 little plus signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that equals 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You notice I put plus signs because they're both positive numbers. But I need to take away. I need to get this x all by itself so that I'm able to find its real identity. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to do the opposite of addition. I need to take away these 7 plus signs. So I'm going to cross them out, which is really subtraction. So I'm going to cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So really what I did here was just I subtracted 7, which got me 0 on this side, and it just left the x by itself. Now notice I made a balance. I cannot do to one side of the equation without doing it to the other, or else it's going to mess everything up. Think about a balance. We have to keep it perfectly balanced. So I need to take away 7 from the other side of the equation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I subtracted 7, but what that left me was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That left me with 8 left. So x equals 8. So let's see if that actually checks out. If I put 8 in for what x is, 8 plus 7, are both sides of the equation equal to each other? So I have 8 plus 7 is 15. Beautiful. They both check out. So why don't you go ahead and use the same strategies for 2 and 3. I'd love for you to model it with your teammates and go ahead and do it for 4 as well. Press pause and then you can check your work. Now that you've checked your work for 2, 3, and 4, life's going to get a little bit more complicated. And at the end, you're really not going to want to model it with your plus signs all the time. We're just going to use numbers. So I'm actually just going to make a balance, and I'm going to keep my numbers. So notice I need to get t by itself, right? Because my variable, it has an identity, but I can't figure it out until it's alone. But if I look at this side of the equation, there's some math that I need to get done. So I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite t plus 7 equals, well, 5 times 3 is 15. So something plus 7 equals 15. Remember what we did to get the x alone up top here? Well, we just had to take away. So I'm going to subtract 7. 7 minus 7, that gives me 0. It's done. And 15 minus 7, well, that gives me 8. So bring down the t. T equals 8. Always, always, always plug in your work. So I'm going to say, okay, is 8 plus 7 equal to 5 times 3? Well, 8 plus 7 is 15, and 5 times 3 is 15. So yes, I have perfectly plugged in the x in my equation. Let's do one more together, and you guys can rock and roll as a team. So I have 13 plus b equals 30 minus 28 plus 2. So again, I'm not going to want to use all those plus signs. I don't want to draw 30 plus signs. So let me just say, okay, I'm going to need to get b by itself to reveal its identity. But first, let me do this math over here. I have 13 plus b equals 30 minus 28 is 2, plus 2 equals 4. All right, so in order to get, oh, I'm sorry, Kipsters. This should have been a plus sign. So let's go ahead and try that again. 30 plus 28 will give me 58, plus 2 will give me 60. So I could think about it in my mind, 13 plus something has to give me 60. Or I could use my algebra skills to isolate B. So I'm going to take away 13 from this side. That crosses it out. It gets me 0. But I need to subtract 60 minus 13. Make sure you borrow. So I get B equals 47. Why don't you guys plug it back into your equation to make sure that both sides are equal? Once you know they're equal, go ahead, press pause, and do the rest. Good luck, Kipsters.